Hi everyone, welcome to Token Topics. It's been an exciting and great week for crypto. XRP holders and certainly Ripple. I'm sure most of the community knows about the great news that came about the Hinman documents and how they've been released to the public. We're going to look into that and the latest replies and statements from John Deaton to the community to clarify any kind of confusion on the difference between the emails and the documents. So you're certainly not going to want to miss this video. Also, XRP to $27, an expert analyst seems to think so. And one of Ripple's vital partners is expanding on-demand liquidity. Before I dive in, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm also not paid for or sponsored by Ripple. All right, everyone, I have a special DCENT wallet announcement. If you have been debating whether or not to get that hardware wallet to keep your assets safe, now is the time to do it. DCENT is holding a special deal. If you purchase a DCENT wallet between now and May 25th, you'll receive 500 free HAVAH tokens. Incredible. To receive your free tokens, you must purchase a DCENT wallet and submit a HAVAH address form during the event period. The deadline to submit your HAVAH address to receive your tokens is June 6th. The date to receive your free tokens is June 9th. When you purchase through the affiliate links, you receive the greatest discount possible, plus your free HAVAH tokens as long as you fill out your form. It gets better. If you purchase 2 wallets, you get 1,000 HAVAH tokens. And take it from me, I've been in crypto for a while. You're going to want multiple wallets. This is the form. I'm going to put the link to the form in the description below. Again, to get the best deal possible, purchase the wallet through the affiliate links in the description below because you're going to receive a further discount. Then submit the form, and then that's it. All right, an analyst predicts an XRP pump to $27 based on Ripple Chief Technology Officer's all-time high assumption. XRP is currently set on a path to price target $27 according to EggRag, who analyzed the asset's price movement based on a $2.80 all-time high that was stated by David Schwartz. EggRag, a prominent crypto analyst, recently shared insights on the potential triggers that could facilitate on an ultimate rally to $27 for XRP. EggRag's latest analysis is based on a previous disclosure from David Schwartz, Ripple Chief Technology Officer, who clarified that XRP's all-time high was $2.80, not $3.20. So XRP would need to surge by 5,775%, and anybody who's studied crypto for a long time knows that that is possible. But it truly is a mystery what the price of XRP will be due to the utility. So, those are my thoughts on it, and it's only a matter of time before we do reach these levels. Keep in mind that when people are comparing the market cap of Ripple and Stellar and Bitcoin, when you're looking at that, keep in mind, here's the big part, keep in mind that only a fraction of the world is even invested in crypto. So what I mean by that is that these market caps that we are currently seeing is going to be nothing compared to the market caps that we're going to see in the future. Tranglo, one of Ripple's vital partners, has just teamed up with Lulu Money for cross-border payouts. Keep in mind that Tranglo utilizes on-demand liquidity, which uses XRP. So Tranglo, leading cross-border payout hub, has announced a strategic partnership with Lulu Money, a subsidiary of the Abu Dhabi-based financial services conglomerate Lulu Finance Holdings, to simplify and accelerate cross-border transaction time. The partnership will leverage the mutual strengths of both companies and benefit businesses and individuals seeking efficient, fast, and secure international fund transfers. And I highlighted here that Tranglo is a proud partner of Ripple, the leading enterprise blockchain solutions for global payments. Yesterday was a very good day for crypto. I'm sure most of you know about the Hinman documents that were released. I believe this is a great deal for crypto because the Hinman documents released in this speech was significant, as it suggests that cryptocurrencies could transform from securities to commodities. This very well could win the case for Ripple. So this is put out by Cointelegraph today. Everything XRP holders have been shouting has been confirmed, says pro-XRP lawyer John Deaton, who has eagle-eyed a small footnote in Ripple's brief that purportedly confirms XRP was discussed among SEC staff before the Hinman speech. Deaton took to Twitter just yesterday explaining that a short footnote in Ripple's legal document that he had just recently noticed confirmed that XRP was in fact discussed between the SEC staff prior to the Hinman speech. So this is potentially significant, as internal debates between SEC officials over whether XRP is a security could tip the scales of the ongoing lawsuit between the U.S. regulator and Ripple. Now check this out. When you look at the other SEC-lit emails cited in Ripple's opposition, they are redacted. The one about there being reasonable grounds to not believe XRP satisfies all the HAVAH factors is not redacted. Let me break it down simple. It's plain as day that the SEC was hiding the fact that there was serious grounds to believe that XRP does not classify as a security. I mean, they weren't just lightly hiding. They were going out of their way to make sure that XRP looked bad. In former SEC Director William Hinman's speech, he said that Bitcoin and Ethereum were not securities. And it appears that some at the SEC may have believed XRP should be treated no differently than Bitcoin and Ethereum, according to Deaton.
Many people, Ellie, in the emails said that this speech was a bad idea. Now, that's open to interpretation. When Brett Redfern said, let's assume that's what he said. We're going to see an email from him that says, this speech, in my opinion, is going to lead to more market confusion. If there are other people in there that said that, why give the speech?
To clarify information for the community, he posts on Twitter that these emails seem to have taken a life of their own. Some people are confusing these internal SEC emails with the emails being sought by Empower. Today's short live stream will cover the actual names of the people who are in the Hinman emails.
And we are live. It is one of those days where internet goes off, Wi-Fi password won't work, all kinds of things. That's why I said if I can get my shit together, we could do this brief weekly live cast. Welcome to Crypto Law TV. I'm John Deaton. I'm the founder and your host. We have big plans in a couple weeks. I'll get to that at the end. But we're going to talk about the Hinman documents first and what to be expected, because there's just a lot of confusion about what's going on. Okay, just to bring everybody up to speed, Judge Torres has ordered that the Hinman emails, draft speeches, and the comments between all these SEC personnel, that cannot be sealed, that must be released to the public with very limited redactions. Okay, so basically we're going to get to see on June 13th, it's possible it's a day before, but doubt it, basically the drafts with the red lines and the comments that Hinman made and that Valerie S. made and that the Office of General Counsel made and all these other people made related to this speech. It is going to be released on the 13th of June. A lot of people made a big deal about why would Ripple agree to a 1-week extension to unseal this. And my comment to that was, I don't think there's going to be any kind of appeal or any writ of mandamus by the SEC, because the SEC filed a letter to the judge that said, look, Judge, we need an extra week to make sure that we comply with your order. And so I doubt very seriously if they would say that to the judge and then pull a fast one and try to file a writ or object or any of that kind of stuff. And so the bottom line is we're going to see these documents. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, we're going to get to see what Joe Lubin said or Mike Novogratz said. No, these are SEC personnel emails. If anyone was on the email chain that did not work at the SEC, then they could have never argued attorney-client privilege. They could have never argued deliberative process privilege. So these are the emails. So let's talk first about what started off a footnote that I put out earlier, and it was Exhibit 220, and it's in a footnote in Ripple's opposition brief. And basically what it said at the bottom of the footnote. It basically said, it cited SEC lit emails. Now, if you see underneath that, you'll see redactions at the bottom of the footnote in the next footnote. And it also cites SEC lit emails. Those are the designation abbreviation of the Hinman documents. But what's not redacted is that someone said there are, quote, reasonable grounds to conclude that XRP does not satisfy all elements of the HAVAH analysis and is therefore not a security for purposes of the federal securities laws. But that's not redacted. So I want to back up and go to the page previous so we could read the footnote. And that's on the page before. And the footnote where that citation is made, the sentence says, other market participants independent from Ripple likewise sent the SEC independent analyses often prepared by reputable law firms, concluding that XRP was not a security. And then you see footnote 33. And then when you look down at the bottom, it has a different site. It says SEC lit e-production, which are not the Hinman emails. And then it talks about what this person said, some manager who said that Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP should not be governed by the securities laws. And so what this means is that someone, not an SEC official, commented about how XRP does not satisfy the HAVAH test. And that comment is contained within the Hinman emails. In other words, it appears that an SEC official either forwarded an email from the SEC that the SEC received, or was citing what this other person, independent of Ripple, was saying as they were discussing this speech, this monumental speech that was to be given. And so let's look at what you can expect, because we have a very good guide. And what we have, and I want to bring it up, it's A1. It is a document. I want to explain to everybody what this is. Basically, as you can read, it's a summary chart of the entries of the SEC privilege log. And this is basically, 7 pages, and we'll get to the end in a minute, but this is what you can see, right? It starts off at the very top, an email from Fredrickson, who worked for Hinman, about the speech. The second entry is, we see not the second page, but the second entry of the first page. It says, email from Fredrickson to Seaman attaching the first rough draft of the speech. You can see it there in bold in the very second line. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the first draft. We're going to get to see what was the very first draft. Now, I know a lot of people out there are speculating, is XRP in it? Is it just ETH and Bitcoin? Is there any suggestion? I have no idea. I'm not going to speculate. I'm just letting you know that's where it begins. That date is May 21st. And then you see the next entry down underneath is where Hinman's first comments. It says, email from Hinman to Fredrickson, Seaman, attaching comments on the first draft. We're going to get to read Bill Hinman's very first intake and his thoughts on what that first draft speech had to say. And then it just keeps going on. The next entry over the next entry, you'll see there May 25th, Valerie S., who is the crypto czar, she gets a copy of the draft. And then there's a May 25th draft. Now let's go to A2, which is the second page of this privilege log. And you'll see there on the second line, it says, right, just above 11, I don't think see if you can read it, but it's an email from Hinman to those people within finance department, corporation finance department, making comments about the May 29 draft. So now we have another comment, and then you move down and you get to June 1st, and there's another comment from email from Hinman with additional comments, and each person is giving comments as this email moves along. At the bottom of A2, you see that there's a June 1st draft. And here we have Hinman's comments, and then we have Valerie S.'s comments to Hinman's comments. And it just keeps going on and on like this. If you get to A3, you'll see that at the very top, right, entry number 20 on June 4th, it's an email from Seaman to Hinman, Fredrickson, Spasniak, attaching a new draft with the red lines of what was to be omitted. What's being omitted at this stage? We don't know, but we're going to find out. Then you'll see on June 4th, there's a suggestion to get input of other divisions. You see there a list for other divisions and offices. And then we go to a line where it says 24 on the left, June 4th. We see an email from Hinman to Makowicz, Merman, Fox. This is Office of the Chair, Jay Clayton's office. You also see the enforcement division is being brought into it. You also see that it says Redfern. Who is Brett Redfern? Well, he was the director of trading and markets. And thanks to Digital Asset Investor, I have a clip here. Let's look and see what Redfern said on June 7th.
Chairman declined to say whether Ether or Ripple were actual securities, but is it fair to say that this is likely ultimately going to be litigated in the courts?
It's unclear to me whether or not that's going to be litigated, and I don't want to speak about any specific products. And I do believe that there will be statements on at least one of those products forthcoming in the future about, providing some more guidance on that.
The chairman.
Okay, notice that. So that was June 7th, right? That we learned that June 7th, 1 week before the Hinman speech is delivered at the Yahoo conference. So we look and we learn that on June 4th, that's when Brett Redfern learned of this speech, apparently in the email list. He may have heard about it, but that's when he got to see what was being suggested, and he made comments. In fact, some of his comments are actually cited in the Ripple brief. All right, let's go back for a second so I can bring this full circle to people. If we can go back to the footnote and page 47, right? All right, you see there, go back to the one previous. Right there, you see where it says contemporaneous SEC officials. That is Brett Redfern being quoted, but we see it's being redacted. Now, I believe that what was redacted is it's going to lead to market confusion or more confusion, or it could be speculation. I don't know. We're going to see, but that is that's an example of what we're going to read that Brett Redfern said. Now, let's go back to our privilege log where we were on A3. And you'll see that if you go down to the bottom of A3, there's an email from the office of the chair of Jay Clayton that's forwarding Hinman's June 4th email. So Charlie Gasparino and Ellie Ternet has stated publicly that Jay Clayton's office had submitted input on this speech. Well, we're going to find out. That's the kind of stuff that we get to read. Go to A4. And then you'll see there on where it says 31 on the left, an email from Fredrickson attaching the comments in response to Brett Redfern's June 7th comments. So we've got the comments from Brett Redfern that this speech is going to lead to some kind of something, confusion, speculation, whatever the redacted word is. And you have people responding to his concern. And so are they corroborating his concern? Are they saying this speech shouldn't be given? What other things are they saying? Are they asking about XRP or other digital assets? And then if you look down on line 35, you'll see there's an email from the Office of General Counsel. And the Office of General Counsel is making comments on this speech. Boy, there's a lot of people at the SEC giving input on this personal opinion of Bill Hinman. Okay, now everybody, I think, has a good idea of basically the last thing I'd say about A4 is if you go down to line 36, it literally says that the revised draft incorporated the comments from the Office of General Counsel, trading markets, and the investment markets, or whatever that IM stands for. Therefore, they're saying there's something in the speech was revised to accommodate those comments. We're going to find out what those were. So let's finally go to A7 so that people can see. This is basically a summary of the privilege log. At the bottom, it lays out who's in the emails, but I want you to draw your attention to the first line there. The second sentence says, attachment 1 indicates the 64 non-duplicative documents reflected on the SEC privilege log. I've been saying there's 63 emails. I misspoke. There's 64, apparently. I also misspoke. I think I said there were 56 or 58 drafts. There are actually 52, because you can see in the second line, it says in total, there are 52 unique drafts reflected in all of these Hinman emails. And so with that said, that's it for the documents. With that said, is now you've got a good idea of what we're going to see. We don't know all of the comments, obviously. We don't know whether XRP was in a draft or not a draft. There's a lot of speculation about that. I don't necessarily believe that XRP was actually in a draft. If it was, it's huge news. Because remember, there was a memo at the SEC dated June 13th, 2018, that dealt with XRP. So apparently at the same time, between May 21st or mid-May and June 13th, when this speech is being drafted and commented on by various people at the SEC, enforcement lawyers at the SEC were dealing with XRP, which is further corroboration that XRP was probably mentioned somewhere in all of these comments. After all, it had battled ETH for the number 2 spot in January of 2018. XRP was number 2. On June 13th, 2018, it was number 3 as far as market cap. XRP had existed before ETH. It was mentioned by the Government Accountability Office in 2014 as a virtual currency utilized in a decentralized payment platform called Ripple. In 2015, FinCEN declared it convertible virtual currency and made Ripple comply with the banking laws, not the SEC laws. Also in the footnote, you notice a MoneyGram reference. MoneyGram declared in 2019 that they were going to utilize XRP, and the SEC told them to count it as a contra expense as part of, instead of revenue. They didn't say treat it as a security. There's a reference to Coinbase email in February 2019 that says, hey, XRP is not a security. All of that is evidence. And how these individuals at the SEC were dealing with these issues, we're going to find out. But that XRP memo is not a coincidence, people, that it's dated on June 13th, 2018, the day before. And the final comment about that is that memo could not have declared XRP a security, because if it had, then the enforcement lawyers would have recommended at least a cease and desist or letter to Ripple. Hey, Ripple, we just did this exhaustive memo and XRP is a security. Stop violating the law. They would have done at least that, or they'd have recommended enforcement. They wouldn't have done nothing, which is what they did. So all of this evidence, I think, bodes well for Ripple, but more importantly, my concern is the secondary market and XRP holders, and I think that we're going to find out. So hopefully you have a good idea of the nature of the documents now and what's contained in there, or could be contained in there, and not to be confused with the Empower oversight emails that they're fighting for, that deals with SEC communications with third parties, with Vitalik or Joe Lubin.
Well, everyone, that's all I have for the video. If you enjoyed the content, please do subscribe so you can stay up to date. Thank you.